All right, of course, as we know right now, this is where things stand. It's a win for Trump in Georgia. The numbers currently are at 247 for Trump and 214 for Harris. And just now we've discussed this. In the blue wall states, it is Trump who is leading the charge. We were earlier banking on Nevada, which it hadn't started its counting yet, but right now in Nevada as well, it is a lead for the Reds.
Absolutely. We were talking about how similar it is to 2016, but maybe it is not very much because, well, 2016, Clinton did take Nevada, but it seems like Trump has taken that as well. But these are early leads.
Right.
Now, the U.S. election results will also have an impact on West Asia. Meanwhile, in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's administration is also undergoing changes.
Right, Netanyahu has sacked his defense minister Yoav Gallant. This is the big development coming in from West Asia, saying that he had no trust in him over the management of Israel's ongoing military operation, something we have seen for quite a few months now.
Right. The Israeli Prime Minister appointed Foreign Minister Israel Katz to succeed Gallant. Now, Gideon Sa'ar will take over as the new Foreign Minister of Israel.
The breach of trust between myself and the defense minister has become public, and this breach prevents the campaign from being managed properly. It's not just me who is saying this. Most government ministers and cabinet members, nearly everyone, share the feeling that we cannot continue in this way. In light of this, I decided today to end the term of the defense minister.
Hundreds of people took to the streets of the nation's commercial hub, Tel Aviv, to protest the sacking of Gallant.
That is a spontaneous outburst of rage because we have had enough. It's for almost 400 days, and now in the middle of a war, the Prime Minister that promised that you can't change the Prime Minister in the middle of the war is firing the Minister of Security. This is ludicrous. The whole government should go home, should go actually to jail. They are traitors. They are betraying the hostages that are living in the tunnel, that are dying in the tunnel for 400 days.
Meanwhile, Gallant said he was fired due to disagreements.
This dismissal comes as a result of disagreements over three issues. The first, my decisive position that everyone who is of draft age must be drafted, must serve in the IDF and defend the state of Israel. We must not allow a discriminatory and corrupt law to pass in the Israeli Knesset and exempt thousands of citizens from carrying the burden. It is time for a change.
The Netanyahu administration is continuing to fight its war with Hezbollah and Hamas on the ground. Israeli military said it struck a Hezbollah weapons depot in a Syrian town near the Lebanese border. Lebanon said Israel struck locations across the country on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, Israeli forces continue to pound Lebanon's Beirut. Lebanon's health ministry says Israeli strikes have killed 15 people so far.
The Israeli military and Hezbollah have been exchanging fire for over a year in parallel with the Gaza war, but hostilities have escalated over the last 6 weeks. Lebanese health ministry says 3,000 people have been killed in the country so far. All right, for more on this, we're now being joined by our correspondent Jody Cohen from Ra'anana. Jody, I hope you can hear me right now. Of course, this is a big development that has come in from West Asia. And to discuss that, in fact, we're also right now being joined by Fleur Hassan Nahum from Jerusalem, Israel. She is an Israel Special Envoy for Trade and Innovation and former Deputy Mayor for Jerusalem. Jody and Ms. Nahum, thank you so much for joining us. Jody, let me come to you first. Of course, as I was mentioning, big development coming in from Israel. the sacking of the Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. We'd seen that the spat between the two had grown in recent months and it had become public. What do you have to say about this?
Hi there. So Prime Minister Netanyahu said that there had been disagreements over the past months on the management of the war between the Security Cabinet and Defence Minister Yoav Gallant. And he said that in words and also in actions at times, Gallant's actions had contradicted the decisions of the Security Cabinet and that this distrust had become known to Israel's enemies. Now, Defence Minister Gallant gave a statement in which he said that it's been his life's mission to defend Israel and that will continue. Now, his successor, Israel Katz, as Defence Minister, said that he will work to achieve Israel's war goals, which he said returning the hostages is the most important value mission, also defeating Hamas and Hezbollah, curbing Iranian aggression and making sure that the residents on the north and the southern borders who've been evacuated from their homes can return home. Now, Yair Lapid, the head of the opposition, said that to do this in a time of war he believes is madness, and we saw that tens of thousands of people went out onto the streets, particularly in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem last night, to protest. They called this Gallant 2, which was referring to the first time Netanyahu had fired Gallant, and hundreds of thousands of people went out into the street to protest at that time. But we're not seeing that now, and actually a big protest had been planned here this is between the junction of the Sharon in Ra'anana, and normally we would expect to see a few thousand people at a protest like this, and there's literally just a handful of people behind me who have turned up, so that's very surprising indeed. Netanyahu's announcement has come as an Iranian strike is anticipated, so perhaps fewer people are coming to protest because of that. It also comes, of course, on the day of the US election. Perhaps then Gallant was seen as the main conduit between the Biden administration and the Israeli government, so perhaps that was designed to have less of a criticism perhaps on that. And the White House, we know, has said that Gallant was a trusted partner, but that the White House and the Pentagon will work closely with his successor.